Hi, so what does it mean to be a great coach? Well, to me it's quite simple. You must have a deep and thorough understanding of your martial art. I don't care whether it's traditional, boxing, kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, judo, karate, kung fu, whatever. You must understand it thoroughly. And that does not mean that you know all your katas and patterns and forms and that you can perform them backwards, you can do mirror images of them. That is not knowing your art. You must understand it thoroughly so that you can teach it correctly. It is your duty as a coach to teach your students to the very best of your ability at all times. Your goal as a coach, school owner, instructor, whatever you call yourself, is to make your students the best that they can possibly be. It does not mean that you're the best fighter in your school. It does not mean that you're the best at kata or competition or whatever. A coach is a coach, a fighter is a fighter. They are different things. Yes, there's crossover, and I'm the first to admit that as a coach of fighters you must have some fight experience to be able to teach to the very highest levels. But to me, and feel free to disagree, but to me the key to a coach, what distinguishes an okay instructor from the very best coaches out there, is this deep, thorough understanding of how and why the body works as applied to your art. Now, one of the major things that we focus on in all of our teachings and all of our training is to truly understand how and why a technique works. I often use the example of my old boxing coach, training partner and great friend Harold Bomber Graham. When he teaches a simple jab, he explains to people where your feet should be, where your ankle, your knee, your hips, elbows, shoulders, head, chin, how everything should be aligned, what muscles you should be feeling, where your weight distribution should be, which foot should be pushing in what direction and how and why. How to do that with the correct distance, timing, so that your jab goes out as fast as it possibly can, comes back as fast as it possibly can, is as accurate as it can possibly be, and as hard and powerful as it can possibly be, whilst at the same time maintaining your own defense, maintaining your own balance, and trying to rob all of those things from your opponent. Imagine how long it takes to truly explain that. Now, the beauty of what we do is to explain all of these things in simple, bite-sized, easy chunks. They're very simple to understand, and they are principles that you can apply to each and every technique. So once you understand many of these principles, you can take a jab, a cross, a hook, an uppercut, a roundhouse kick, a front kick, a takedown, a throw, groundwork, locks, chokes, strangles, and analyze those techniques. See how and why they work. Break them down into the little itty-bitty constituent parts. Add in all the other information that you know and build that technique back up and make it more efficient and more effective. And that is the way you should teach your students. You want them to be much better than you could ever be. That, to me, is a great coach. Your job is to make your students the best they can possibly be if you are a coach. And to do that in the most efficient manner possible. And that is not by boring repetition of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of punches. Because once people start to repeat things like that ad nauseum, technique goes out of the window. it just becomes sloppy, and then they build in a sloppy technique. It's better to do a few real good ones than thousands of real terrible ones. And as a coach, your job is to ensure that that is what your students do. When they repeat something, they must be repeating it correctly, efficiently, properly, not just non-stop throwing punches at a bag hoping that that's going to help them improve. All it will do will help them improve at throwing punches at a bag. That's it. You've got to be scientific in your approach, and you've got to understand how and why things work, and you've got to make sure that you teach correctly. And if you're not, if you don't understand, then ask. We're here to help. It's what we do. We help people understand how and why their techniques work. Now, you could be a school owner, you could just be somebody who likes to train, you could be a student, you could be a fighter, you could be anybody. If you understand truly how and why techniques work, you will improve dramatically. And you'll be able to teach it. And there's no better way of understanding and learning something than forcing yourself to teach others how to do it. And that's what we do. When we train, we're all students and we're all instructors. Because when we're paired up, everybody knows how and why things should work, and they can help correct their training partner. Whether it be a lock on the floor, striking on stood up, whatever it may be. We understand how it should be applied and how it should work, and if our training partner is struggling with it, we help them. We tell them that the weight isn't on correctly, the arm's not misaligned correctly. You've got to do this, you've got to do that to improve it. That way everybody learns and everybody gets better much, much quicker. And that's how we teach, and that's how we consider ourselves to be good coaches, and hopefully you're doing the same. Let me know what you think. More another day.